exercise is awareness of the hands. And what we'll be doing is we'll be introducing to the breath practice the body. And in particular, that is the body outside the breath. And we'll in particular use the hands. And as you'll see, the hands play a role in the other exercises as well. So this is really a foundational awareness exercise that brings into it the hands. So let's begin with our feet planted firmly on the ground, our backs and our bodies sitting comfortably in the chair. Our hands in this case can rest, I would say palm facing up, but it's not necessary. It's just that in the other exercises we're going to move the palms, but if you want to at some point in time during this exercise turn them over, that's fine. And awareness of breathing. So let's bring ourselves into this space of allowing ourselves to just be here for this breath. And we'll lower or close our eyes for this exercise. Sense the contact points of our feet pressing against the ground, or where we feel our shoes pressing against our feet. Our bodies making contact in this chair. Even the atmosphere in this room as it caresses and flows past the skin. Maybe the subtle sounds that we hear. Just being aware of this moment just as it is. And then allowing those various sense awarenesses to recede into the background as awareness is brought firmly and with intention to the breath. Just observing your body as it breathes, as if it were an ocean, the waves coming and going. And if your mind should wander, simply bring it back to the breath. And now allowing awareness of breathing to recede into the background as you bring awareness to your hands. And that's to say, whether it's a visual sense of them in your mind's eye, or feeling them as they rest on your thighs, or sensing them in space, their position, or perhaps just a general sense of your hands. By whatever means, rest your awareness on your hands. And choose to, for the next few moments, sustain your awareness on your hands, almost as if you are curious about these hands that you can't really see because your eyes are closed, but you know are there. Just noticing. Easy breath. wanders, that's quite all right. Just gently bring it back to the hands. And do this for 2 or 3 more breaths on your own, and then open your eyes when you're done. Okay, so how is that? What was that like?
Well, it was interesting. Keeping the hands in stable position and really like focusing on them. It felt as if after a while, I mean, they weren't going anywhere or moving, but it felt like they were actually getting heavier.
That's interesting, right? You sort of felt they had a weightiness to them.
Yeah.
Okay, like, yeah, were there any temperature sensations you might have been aware of?
Like tingling a little bit.
A little tingling, right. You know, it's interesting. Our bodies are very much alive, right? They are alive, right? And yet, especially in law school, and certainly in the practice of law, we spend so much of, it seems, our time and energy here, right? Just thinking. And indeed, it's almost as if we were, Michael, in a fight or flight for our lives kind of process. The breathing gets shallow, and there's almost like a numbness that slowly overcomes this sort of larger sense of who we are as human beings because of this real concentration, which is understandable because it's a very intellectual, cognitive pursuit, right? But this is why we have the opportunity to say, I'm going to not become a little bit off balance, but rather do practices like this to sort of bring a wholeness to the experience, where then maybe we can really be even more present for those law school exams, more present for those questions by the professors, more present during those interviews, and not always in such a feeling of fight or flight, which, as we know, we're just in law school.
Yeah.
Like, what a joy and what a privilege to have this opportunity, and it always works out, right?
It's true.
Okay, good. Any questions?
No, but well, actually, I noticed myself wanting at certain points to either, it's hard to sit still. I kind of wanted to fidget a little bit or something like that. What would you give as some advice?
Okay, that's a great question. On the one hand, there's nothing that you can do that's wrong, right? And so if you feel that you have to move, right? If there's to be a mindfulness application to that, move with awareness that you feel a fidgetiness, that you're maybe struggling with, do I move or don't I move because I'm supposed to be sitting still? So rather than get caught up in that internal struggle, bring awareness to the fact that there's this interesting little dialogue going on, right? Or there's this interesting sort of uncertainty, what do I do? Or should I move? Or I want to try and work through it. So there's no right or wrong answer other than to try and bring awareness to what we're doing. And if we want to say, well, you know, I'll see if this might pass. Because oftentimes we have these little impulses or feelings that come and go. And mindfulness offers the opportunity to just sort of say, oh, here's this impulse to move around. Let me just sit with that for a minute. And it may just pass. And it may not. And so we may choose to move and reposture ourselves. And so that's terrific too.
Good.
Yeah? Is that helpful?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.